Hello, my friends. It is that time again to share with you a homeschool update. Today, I'm going to be chatting with you about how the month of May went for us, mostly with our homeschool, but also with a few life things thrown in there as well, because they kind of go hand in hand. So if you're interested in hearing more, keep watching. Hello and welcome. If you are new, I am Christine, a homeschooling mom of three, a second generation homeschooler, and my kids are currently 9, 7, and 5. I've been homeschooling them since the start, so we're going on, I think we've been homeschooling for like 4 years now. It's kind of hard to keep track as to when we started because it was kind of like just a gentle start into it. But my son was 4 and now he's 9, so there we go. But yeah, that's a little intro about me, and I do these monthly updates just to keep people, those of you who are following, I recommend curriculum, I share what I'm going to be using, and I think it's really helpful to have like real world updates on how that's actually working for us. So that is why I like to do these updates. I appreciate watching these updates from other homeschool moms. I just find them very interesting and fun to listen to. So that is why I'm sharing everything. I also like to share with you in my email list. I send out a weekly email where I just very quickly share kind of like what's going on. That's kind of like the most up-to-date information you'll get from me, and share like helpful tips, and just if I find any great resources, I tend to share them there. So if you want to, go ahead and sign up for that. I always have it linked down in the description below. I'd love to have you there. So with all that said and done, let's get into the month of May, and I feel like it hasn't been super eventful, which is really good because eventful months are exhausting, and it has been an exhausting month, and it has been a busy month, but it hasn't been like, we haven't had anything terrible go wrong. We haven't had any like major earth-shattering things happen, which is really nice. It's nice to just be calm and getting on with things. So I'm trying to think where we left off. I took a break because we did like 4 weeks of our second term, and I was like, I'm exhausted. And so we took a week break. So we took that early. Usually we do 6-week terms. But I was like, you know what? I need a break. I'm exhausted. And so we did. And I had sick kids, and I just needed to we just needed to chill. And so we did. But then we started up again. And I think we're currently in our 4th week back. Yeah, it will be our 4th week because we finished off the last 2 weeks of the term 2, and now we've done the first 2 weeks of term 3, which is wild because that means in 4 more weeks we will be halfway through our school year. It's insane. Has this year gone by like insanely fast for anyone else? Because I swear this year has been one of the fastest years of my life to date. I cannot believe that we're walking into June. I mean, it's insane. So yeah, but school has gone really well. I have made a few adjustments. One of the things that I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned it in my April update, but I know I mentioned it in my email newsletter, was that I wanted to bring in more fun into our homeschool days. I felt like we'd kind of gotten a little bit like meh, and it was just maybe a little bit not too much book work, but that was all we were kind of doing. And that's fine. Like, I feel like if you're in that season, or if you enjoy that, that's totally fine. But I also am out of the baby and the toddler stage, and I have a little bit more capacity for doing things like art projects and things like that with my kids. They're older now. They don't it's not terrifying to do that with them anymore, And so I wanted to add more of that into our school. And I feel like we have done that this month. In the month of May, we've done a lot more projects. I've added a lot more sort of enrichment into it, and also sort of like realized that we don't have to do all of the things all of the time. It's okay to skip things every now and again. We started a new morning virtues unit. I think it's Lewis is the name of the one we're doing at the moment. And we had already read the whole Chronicle of Narnia series. When did we read that? I think 2 years ago. And my kids loved it then, and the Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe book is scheduled in this unit, and I was like, let's just reread it. And so I pulled it out, and both of my older kids were so excited for me to pull it out again. My younger daughter wasn't excited because she wasn't in the room because I don't require her to stay in for all the things. But my older two were like, yes, they really love that book. I mean, it's just probably one of my favorite series ever. And so, yeah, we just started reading that again, and I'm looking forward to that. We are enjoying our read alouds from Sunlight still, our family read alouds. They're going really, really well. No complaints there. I'm trying to think what we just finished off. We just finished off In Grandma's Attic, and all my kids really enjoyed that. They were really short, sweet chapters. I read that series when I was a kid, and I just loved it. So I'm sure we will tap more into that. As the kids get older, I'll, buy more of them. So yeah, that's gone well. Our group studies have gone well. What I've really seen the fruits of this month is all the effort I've put into literature and reading with my kids. Both of my kids are really taking off with their reading skills. In fact, all three of my kids are, because my youngest daughter is just starting to sound out her CBC words, and she's read her first couple little books now, and she's so proud of herself, and it is adorable. So all three of them are just doing really well with their reading. And I think what I've seen the biggest change in with my eldest is he's not just reading well now, he's enjoying reading now. And I can see a love of literature beginning in him. And it's the first thing he wants to do when we start school now is pick up his book and go do his independent reading. He loves it. So that's been really, really rewarding for me to see. As a side note, if you hear funny noises, I do have my heater on in here because it's a little chilly. It's actually really cold today. It's been snowing, not where I live, but not too far from where I live, and it's been blowing, the wind is blowing from that direction, and so it's chilly. Anyway, so that has been really cool. And then my middle daughter, her reading she's just getting better and better at it, and that's really fun. And she started reading all of the Dr. Seuss books that are scheduled in Sunlight Grade 1 readers, and she's really enjoyed those, and she's kind of flying through them. So she'll be beginning on Grade 2 readers very soon. She's almost finished all of the Grade 1 readers that are scheduled. Abeka is still working very well for her. I'm very happy with it. Abeka K4 that I'm using with my kindergartner is working fantastic. I'm really, really pleased that I chose that curriculum to use this year. I am kind of like some of the lessons I'm condensing because she's all of a sudden sort of jumping ahead a wee bit. And so I'm condensing a little bit, but with the mindset that she might slow down again. And so I'm just taking it as it comes. But I do foresee us finishing K4 before the end of our school year, and we'll probably just roll on to the next grade, probably, is what I foresee happening. Now, math is where I made a couple of supplemental changes. So Math with Confidence, love it. No complaints there. It's working fantastic. I've been really rewarded this week, especially with my middle daughter, just to see how she's grasping concepts. It's really fun. And my son as well. He does well. Now, my daughter hasn't really been slowed down by this yet, but my son definitely is being slowed down a little bit by the fact that he has not mastered his multiplication facts. And that's fine. Like Kate says in that curriculum, it's totally fine. Like the next grade up, they're going to work on it a lot more. There's time. It's developmental, all of that. And that's fine. But I don't love how much of a struggle it is at the moment, just because he's kind of lost his love for it a little bit. He loves math. He's always been very good for it. But because he's really having to engage his brain at the moment, he's not loving it so much. And so one of the things I toyed with doing was going through times tables, because I'd heard such good things about it. And then a friend of mine used it with her kids and had great reviews of it. And so I was like, you know what? I think we're almost at the end of grade 3. I think we're just going to have a break before we finish off the last 2 units and go through times tables and just really work on mastering those multiplication facts, just so it's not quite such an uphill battle going forward. So that's what we've just started on. Like literally today was the first day we've used it, so I can't really give you any kind of feedback on it yet because we just started using it, but I will definitely give you a review of that and let you know how it went. I've only bought times tables. I didn't buy the one for the lower level or for I think it's the times 11 and 12. I didn't do those ones because honestly, like the lower ones, he knows how to skip count. He knows how to figure that out. That's fine. And the higher ones, we'll get there when we get there. I'm not really fussed about it. It's more those middle ones that are just like tricky, like 6 and 7s, that I really wanted him to work on a little bit more. So it also just gives him a break from doing the same thing every day. Like he was like, you mean I just have to watch a video today? Like what? And it also gives me a little break too. So he's doing that at the moment, and I will report back on how it goes and what I think of it. And then the other thing I added in was another recommendation I had seen from like in lots of homeschool Facebook groups called Extra Math, and it's the letter X and then tra math. And it's a free online platform. I don't think, some people said there was an app. I don't think they offer that anymore, but it's very easy to use in the browser. And you can set up free accounts for your kids, and it's just for them to master their addition, subtraction, and multiplication facts. And so it's kind of like speed drill type things. And I know not everyone is a fan of that, but I grew up doing that. I really enjoyed them. It's a little bit of a nerd. But I mostly wanted that just to keep things fresh in my kids' minds. And Math with Confidence absolutely does provide that review, but there's one of me, and I have 3 kids that I'm teaching this year, and so it's just one way that I can get them to be reviewing their math facts without me having to like physically sit down and do a game with them or something like that. As fun as those are, I just do not have the capacity to be doing that all of the time. And it's not even that I don't have the time for it, I just am tired. And so that's one thing that sort of like takes it off of my shoulders. It gives them a little bit more independence, and I can very easily track their progress. It's got great reporting in the teacher dashboard, so check them out. It's just Extra Math. If you just type it into Google, it will come up for you, and it's very simple and straightforward to set up. I've been very pleased with it. There's no ads or anything like that. Yeah, it's fantastic. So you can like opt to turn off the timer if that's like really freaks out your kid, which I can understand that it freaks out my kids. So you can like turn that off so they don't see it and get all anxious. And I just tell my kids like, do your best. I send them to another room so they can focus. And it's kind of, I'm just like, don't stress about what your results are. Like it's just about practice. And the more you practice, the better you'll get. So there's that. Sequential spelling. I did want to report back on that. I'm really happy with it. I am seeing improvement in my son's spelling. It is completely out of my hands. I don't have to do anything with it. He just opens the computer, signs in, and does his thing. He got like a really good score the other day and was so proud of himself, which was really fun. But yeah, it's just one of those things that I'm enjoying. It's been the best spelling program we've used so far, and I can see myself using it with my daughter when I'm ready for her to do that. She's in 2nd grade, but she's doing a lot of 1st grade work at the moment as well. So I'm not in a rush to use that with her. I'll probably wait either till next year or the year following to start it with her. She's a little bit more of a natural speller. But like today, my son was asking me how to spell some words, and I was like, give it a go. And he got them right. And they were words with special sounds in them and stuff. And so I was like, well, there we go. Like he's getting it. It's clicking. So that's been really good. And I just like that it was an affordable option. It's all online. And yeah, I'm pleased with how it's going. So I think that wraps up all of the updates on our homeschool. Our schedule, our 4-day week schedule is going really well. I'm very, very, very happy that I made the decision to do that, because it has definitely made our weeks more flexible and just giving me that extra day to like rest or catch up on stuff is fantastic. And speaking of catching up on stuff, let's talk a little bit about life and how that's going. So one of the projects I've been working on is our TV lounge and renovating that. I started that in April, and I'm just putting like the finishing touches on it now. So I did all like the big heavy lifting stuff a few weeks ago. I stripped back the beam that was in there and exposed that and restained it, and I painted the whole room and added picture frame molding to the wall, and honestly, it's just transformed the space. I made new drapes out of tablecloths, $11 tablecloths. So that was really affordable, and I just had my new bookcases arrive today, and I was not expecting to be able to get bookcases for the space yet because they're expensive, but we just so happened to have some money that we were able to put towards that. And so I've got new bookcases, and I probably will get even more eventually because the idea is to kind of have like a mini at-home library. I'm so excited for it, like so excited for it. It is the coziest room now with our fireplace in there and like beautiful olive green feature walls, and it's just like dark stained wood. It's so cozy. It's just lovely, and it's completely different to anything I've ever done before. And I've just been able to do so much of it on a really tight budget. I'm thrilled with how much I've been able to get done in there. So that's been my big project that I've been working on just in life. And I've had to like, you know, pace myself a lot because I tend to burn myself out. But it's been good. We're, you know, wrapping up May. May has been an insane month for us. We had something planned every single weekend this month. Like, it was crazy. And because we travel for church on a Sunday, Sunday is not a rest day. So when we've got stuff booked on Saturday, it's just like intense. My husband's just been working so hard. In fact, he just got home from a work conference. So he was gone for a few nights, and I had my sister and my little nephew come and stay, and that was so much fun. The kids were just enthralled with their baby cousin, and I loved having him here and seeing him with the kids. It was really sweet. So May was insanely busy. We do not have plans in June, except for the fact that my husband's taking a week off of work and my in-laws are having my kids for a couple nights, and I'm so excited just to have that time with my husband and also just the family time. We're going to take that week off of school. I'm just going to make the schedule work, however, like we'll figure it out. So there's that. But aside from that, I don't think we have any plans for June, and I've never been so excited to have no plans. In fact, I found out this week that this weekend is a long weekend. I didn't realize it. It's King's birthday weekend here in New Zealand. By the time you see this, it'll be finished. But we have no plans, and I'm so excited. So, life has been good. It's been busy, but it's been good. And we've had good family time. Yeah, I don't have a lot to report on that, which is nice because I feel like the last couple years were just crazy. I am gearing up to purchase curriculum for next year. So, and when I say next year, I mean next calendar year. I don't go by the same time as you guys do in the States and in the Northern Hemisphere. Our school year runs February through December. So I am going to be taking advantage of the sales though that come up in June, July, August, all that. And purchase my curriculum, some of which I will need to start using at the end of this year. So I do need to get onto that because shipping takes a little bit of time. And sometimes things have to be back ordered and all of that. So yeah, I've got that to consider. And then as much as I told myself I have to pace myself, I am actually considering another renovation. And that's we'll see I don't know when I'm actually going to start it, but I'm pretty keen to start on my youngest daughter's bedroom. I did my eldest daughter's bedroom back in January, I think, and it turned out so cute. She has been asking me over and over again when I'm going to do her bedroom, and her bedroom's not in a terrible state or anything, but it's blue, and she's a girly girl, and she wants it to be pink, so it won't be like crazy pink. You guys who know me and have seen how I decorate my house know that it'll be like pretty and feminine and soft and classic because that's just what I like. So I'm currently looking at paint swatches and trying to come up with ideas and trying to decide because I have like the long-term plan of doing a built-in bed for her because it's such a tiny little room. It's like a little attic room kind of thing. Whether I wait and save up and like do that or just do like kind of quick facelift and get it looking a little prettier and then worry about all of that further down the line. I don't know yet. I really don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I am excited to do that space because it will be different from her sisters because obviously they're different people and they have different tastes and all that. We'll see. We'll see if I get onto it. I have to just like be careful. I don't take on too much, but at the same time, my brain just like never stops thinking about all of the things I could do to my house. So anyway, but I think that's it. I think that's the update from May. I don't think there's anything else that I had to like tell you that was a big deal or anything. I'm sure I'll turn off the camera and remember stuff, but I will tell you about that in June. So I hope that You are doing well. Those of you who are wrapping up your school year, who have finished your school year, I hope that you are enjoying your summer break and are excited for the new school year, because I know that's what I'm like. I wrap up the last one and then I'm like keen straight away to start looking at all the stuff for the next school year. So anyway, any questions for me, leave them down in the comments as per usual. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
If the world had more of your smile, what if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach heaven?